Okay, so I read this book. Ugh. Okay, so I read this book and it's called Crank and it's by Ellen Hopkins. And um, it is an amazing book for teenagers like you and I because it shows the dangers of drugs and how they make you act and become distant from everyone around you. And it shows that everyone does have their ups and downs, but with drugs, it just makes you down really, really hard. The main character is Christine Georgia Snow, and she tells her friends to call her Bree because she does not like her name. She's a junior in high school, and her parents are divorced. She lives with her mom in Southern California, and her dad lives in New Mexico. She has not talked to her dad in 8 years. He does not send cards, presents, or does not call her until one day when is 16 years old, and he wants her to come down because he doesn't want to lose her before she's 18. Um, but this summer he wants her to come down. It just be him and her. And while she was there, she went to the corner store for her dad and met this guy named Adam. His friends call him Buddy, and he works for her father. And Buddy and Bree run into each other at the convenience store, like I just said, and he asks her if she wants to go back to his apartment. And so they did, and when they get there, he asks if he can smoke, and so they both start smoking cigarettes together, and then they both start smoking Cali Green and all this other stuff. And she thinks she's ready to meet the monster. And so she talks her dad into letting her go into all-night bowling, and um, her and Adam go, and they start doing the monster. And what she doesn't know is that her dad does the monster too. So he comes in, and his dad, or her dad, her now boyfriend, her dad's girlfriend, and her are all doing like lines and lines of the monster. And she goes home and she sleeps for 20 hours, and she only has 2 days left before she has to go home to her mom. And Adam wakes her up, and he's like, okay, Lucy just jumped off of the cliff because she saw us kiss the other night, and she's still like madly in love with me, and she broke her leg, her arm, and she broke her spine. And he just starts breaking down and crying, and she's like, wow, like, I can't believe she did this. And he starts crying, he's like, he's like, okay, I do love you, but he doesn't say I love you. He tells her, he's like, I am Adam, and you are my beautiful Eve. Let's run away together and find our garden and live happily naked. But this is his way of saying, I love you. And he's like, I love you, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, this and that. Well, when she goes home, um, what she doesn't know is that he's going to call her a couple of days later and say, I don't want anything to do with you. And she's just, like, whenever he does, she's just hurt, and she doesn't know what to do, and she just pushes everybody away from her. But school starts, and she meets this guy named Brandon and Jake, and she starts fooling around with both of them. But one night, Brandon did not have anything to cover, and I just don't know how to say it without making that awkward. And Brandon ends up getting her pregnant, and they both don't want her. They call her a whore and a slut and anything else, and no one in the school wants anything to do with her until she meets this guy named Chase. And he's like, I don't care how many guys you've messed with. I don't care what you've done with guys. I don't care your past. He's like, I care about you today and now. He's like, you're a beautiful girl, and you don't need to throw your life away. He's like, I want to take care of you and this baby when it comes. Well, he holds his word, and 9 months later, they are together in the hospital, and he is holding the baby, and she wants him to be the father and puts the baby, and she has, and on the birth certificate, he is the father. And the mom, like her mom and her stepdad, are so happy because they're a family together in this one room and they're not fighting or anything. But like, um, I think that, like, some questions that, um, I have for anyone that, or for Christine, Bree, other words, would be, why would you do this to yourself? Like, he's 18 and you would have to know that he would not love you. Like, I guess love comes in all kinds of ways and shapes and forms, but why this guy? But she turned out to be a really, really beautiful young lady, I guess you can say, because from what um, her now boyfriend says is that she's so beautiful and she's getting, like, she's moving up and stuff. So, like, I suggest whoever, is into books like that, like life stories, should read this book. It's an easy novel, even though it's like big, you know, it is an amazing book. And I think that you guys should all read it. So, there is my book talk. Sorry for wasting your time. Yeah. Deuces.